good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are watching this video. Currently we are going to do some installation process. So in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can install Spider DCA crypto trading bot, which is dollar cost averaging trading bot. So I already have a DigitalOcean account. You can install it on your own server, right? You can install on your own server. So in this process I'm going to walk you guys through step by step on how you can install this crypto trading bot on your server. So step one, you need to create a droplet. So as you can see on the screen, you have to create a droplet inside your DigitalOcean. But though you also need to create your own run your own SSH, create that SSH on your system. I will maybe give you a link on how you can create an SSH passworded key on your laptop, which you will upload onto the DigitalOcean. So in this DigitalOcean dashboard, you select London. You can select any country of your region where you want to host the application. But remember, try and host this application so your Binance or maybe KuCoin pairs and can load properly, because some countries are restricted for those exchanges. So when you select the country, also select the Ubuntu version 24 LTC. Now here comes the plan. In this plan version, we have different kind of plan. We have the plan of $4, $6, $12, $18, $24 for $48 per month. But here this crypto trading bot requires at least 2 gig RAM and 2 core and 4 gig RAM, so it can process things fast. But if you want to just do testing and see how it works, you can decide to choose that, but you have to choose regular. Then for me, I'll be selecting 2 core then 4 gig RAM, which is that $24 per month. I'm just trying to show you how you can install it on your server. You can also get a free server on Amazon and get that 2 gig RAM and storage on Amazon, free Amazon storage. You can use that. You can also use Oracle free installation. Now on the backup, if you select backup, you have to pay additional cost. So I wouldn't want you to select any backup process. So uncheck that box. Then the SSH key. I have already created the SSH key in my system, so you can do that on your system. You can also make research on how to create SSH key. That is the key you need to use to connect to the server after creating the server. So I've done this on my system and I have to give it a name. So this key is already encrypted on my own personal laptop. You can also do that or make research how to do that. It's very simple. Then when creating this, it will prompt you to upload the SSH key, right? So I'll add it. I've added it all. Then since I've added the SSH key on the laptop, I need to select it so I can be able to do the needful to use it to connect. So the matrix on this DigitalOcean is free. So it's a free matrix, shows you the matrix. Then the IP4, leave it checked. Then leave IP6 unchecked address. So IP6 should be left unchecked. Then IP4 should be checked, which will show you the public view of your application. Now the quantity of droplets you want to use is 1. Then you have to change the name of your droplets. Droplet is more like creating a server. In other Amazon or Google, you call it instance, right? So you give it a name, leave it as first choice. You can give it a tag. So I'm tagging my own Spider DCA Pro, that is Spider dollar cost averaging crypto trading bot. So in that regard, we have fully created, we will fully check everything in this DigitalOcean platform before we click on create droplet, because this will help us to make sure that everything is well configured. So we are in Ubuntu recommended version. Here we are in Ubuntu 24.4 LTC x64 bits. So click on create droplet and allow it to load. Then the droplet has been created successfully. Then allow DigitalOcean to complete the process of creating your server or creating your instance, right? So allow DigitalOcean to do that for you. When it's completed, you get a notification that your server has been created successfully, or you wait on the server. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes or 5 minutes. So you get the notification that it has been created, which will come up. Have you seen that droplet has been created successfully? You see, so you have your IP4 address, you have your private IP address. Then we have to open a PowerShell. So this PowerShell, it will help us to log into the server, right? You can open a PowerShell by running it as an administrator. Then you paste this root control. This IP is my IP4 IP address on my server that has been created for me, right? So I have to put it there and click enter. Then remember I created I want to continue to log into this platform. Yes. Then this will prompt me. This will prompt me to enter a password. That password is what I created on my laptop, right? I've been putting the password now. I'm typing the password and I click enter. Now it will automatically log me into my server. See, I'm already logged in to my server. As you can see, I'm automatically logged into my server. So right now I'm going to add a user to that server. So I'm adding a user as Spider admin, which I've already added. Then I have to create a password for that server I just created. Create a password on that server. So I'm adding the password. Then it will prompt me to enter the password again. So for it to make for the prompt to make sure that I enter the correct password. Then I click enter. Then I've created the password successfully. So it will prompt me to put my first name, second name, last name, and all those stuffs. So I have to create, maybe call it Spider Bot. Then click enter. Then room number, I don't want to do that. Just enter. Then it will ask me for other information. I click enter, and are these information correct? I click Y. Yes. So I've created a user for this my server, digital Ocean server. So remember, my user is super admin. That is the first thing you need to do. So there's always a process for you to create a server. If you're using Oracle, there's a way. If you are using Google, there's a way. If you're using Amazon, there's a way. So I have to log in. I have to check my whether my username is well encrypted on the server. So that is that. Then the next step now is to excuse me. So the next step is to start, updating everything in the server to make sure everything is well updated. So I have to copy this to make sure my SSH key is working perfectly fine. Spider admin, to log in as a Spider admin. So it shows this SSH it exists on my system. Now I have to copy the second. All these things you see I'm copying is in the PDF. So even though you get this software and you want to install it, you still have access to the PDF where you can also copy this kind of prompts or copy this command. These are commands you give using your terminal in order to install everything possible to your server. So you copy the second one to also make sure I authorize that username on my server. I paste, then authorize key, click enter. So it will show you everything has been added, super admin group, everything is now well imputed. Then I have to copy the second one, super admin, to make sure the SSH is going very well, the SSH connection. So I have to check that now, which shows everything is working. The default root folder is fine. The default root folder is fine of the admin, super admin on the server. Then the second, I have to copy the third, default, and paste, enter. Everything is going smoothly. So these are the process you need to do on your server. Even though if you can update your server, maybe after creating the server and you do all the necessary things on the server, you can as well maybe skip this step, because server installation you will decide to update your server and update every necessary thing required on the server. So since we've done these things, it's now time for us to verify the permission on that server. You understand? To verify all the permission we have given on that server, the group and every permission we have given. So I have to paste this to verify. Then it shows that we are using the Spider admin. So the permission we did on that SSH server is correct. We have to verify the second one to list out the authorization key. So we have to paste this and click enter on your keyboard. Then everything shows is working perfectly fine. So the Spider admin 19 August is Spider admin authorization key is on the server, which is fully correct. Now this time around, it's now time for us to install all the dependencies. So this one is just it's time for us to install, to log in on the new Windows shell, PowerShell. So I opened the first PowerShell. I have to open a new one. I left that one open, so I need to log into a new PowerShell for us to make sure that the password we created is working perfectly fine. Because if you log in, it will prompt you to enter the password. So I've entered the password and click enter. So this password I enter now will log in to the server, which means the password I created while creating the admin user for the server is working perfectly fine. Now, since it's working perfectly fine, let us check and make sure that everything is fine to see the admin username. You know, who am I in the sudo? So I have to enter the password again in order for the server to give me the name, the correct name that we used. So for say the password for the super admin, Spider admin. So the root name is the name of the server is root, which is default, which is okay. It's default server. You can still decide to change it, but I recommend you leave it like that. Now, since the default name is root, now we have the admin. You see, Spider is as Spider admin, the username we have created. So let's check the host name. The host name will still give us what? Paste and click enter. The host name will give us what? Spider DCA admin product. So this is what we have done in our previous command terminal, right? So as you can see, we have the first, second, and third. Though this time around we need to do some backup, but this will not take long because we just install the server. There's nothing to back up on the server, just to test to see the backup. Now this time around we have to install the full dependencies that is required for the server to work with this application, Spider Bot application. So this script is in the PDF, right? This script is in the PDF. So we have to copy the whole of this script. Don't worry, this script will be in the PDF format or Word format, which you can copy. You copy this. This will install every necessary important data, Docker, PMP, everything that is required for you to run this application. It will be installed on the server instantly. So you click enter. You paste the script. You click enter. It will now take. Everything will be working perfectly fine. Just wait for it to start installation. Now everything is installing. Every necessary dependencies that is required for the application to run is installing. So we need to give it time for it to install completely. So all these scripts, all these command scripts will be in PDF, which you can use to install your application. You can as well, get your server on any server company, maybe Amazon or Oracle, and any other inter-server hosting jar. Just get a good server with some good processing speed and RAM. Then run every process on the server, create a username, input the password, secure your application, secure your server, then start to install every important dependencies and libraries into the server. So copy the script and paste on the server, which I'm just doing now. So it's all installing. Right now you get a notification on whether you have to keep the local file or try to update or do anything. So I prefer we are waiting for that to pop up as this is running. That is a Linux. Now you can see this notification here. So I prefer you keep the local version currently installed. The local version should be installed. Don't update it. Keep it like that and press enter or click OK. So click enter key on the keyboard. Then everything has now been fully installed. As you can see, everything is now fully installed with no error messages. So the PMP, the versions, the node on the Linux, everything, the version is fully installed. In the node version, the npmp version is installed, which is what we're supposed to get, right? This is what we're supposed to get. Now, because we have already added account to the Docker type, that is, we need to do what? Exit the server first, then we log into the server and try to start up the server. So let's come here, copy this command on PowerShell. This is the login, your SSH login. Sometimes some server provider will give you SSH login to login, so I have to put my password so I can be able to log into the server. Then I've logged into the server. Everything is now totally logged in. You know, as I was saying before, some server company can give you SSH key. You can download it to your server for you and you can use it to log in. So this time around, you have to check the version of this dependencies and things we need to use to run this application. So we need to see the whole versions. So as we can see, we have Node version, we have Docker version, or other versions of every dependency we need, and the whole thing that we have on the server, right? It shows everything. So as you run this command, it gives you everything that is being installed. So everything is installed correctly on the server. So let's test this and see if Docker is working fine, perfectly fine. Let's just use a normal test run to see if it's unable to find, but it's trying to create those libraries and it has been created. So it shows that everything here on the server is Docker is up and is working perfectly fine, right? Now the whole thing there is pulled completely, downloaded completely, and status downloaded completely about the Docker composer. Now this time around we are going to now find the place we downloaded their application. So this is where I downloaded the application. It's on my downloaded folder. So this is the application and the app itself, the app zip file. So we need to check and see if the app zip file is existing. So we need to use PowerShell and maybe check if it's existing. So you said the app is not found, right? So I need to check the name and run it. It's not on the server because I'm checking it on the server. Now it's time for us to check it on the system. So I have to open a new PowerShell and allow it to open my system, and I paste. It will show now that it is on my downloaded folder. You see, it's on my downloaded folder now, right? Now it's now time for us to try a way and try to upload it on the server. So to upload this script on the server, on our current server, this is what we need to do. We copy this script, copy it. Now come to this place, paste the script and click enter. Now this is what it shows. This file does not exist. You see, it does not exist on the server. So what we need to do now, you have to go back to this PowerShell, then log in to this and paste the script so it can be able to upload it on the server. So when I click enter, it will ask me for password because we are trying to upload this on the server, on our server, which we have created using this script. So you have to enter the password. I'm typing in the password. So you see, uploaded completed. So you see, everything has been uploaded completely. So since it has been uploaded completely, what are we going to do next? You can see the 100% uploaded, 542, 3 MB and 0.001 seconds. It has been uploaded. So the next step is for us to see how we can extract the file, right? Extract the file into the server. So you have to copy this script. That's the next step after uploading the server. Copy the script, paste, and I think I copied it, then click enter, press the script and press enter button on your keyboard. And what it shows preparing Spider DCA Bot, zip file appear to be used backlash, and so because it's using backlash, that's a little mistake we have to do. So we need to change that so we can be able to unzip it. So I have to log in to the server. Because this is what is showing us that the zip file, instead of using / we're using backslash. So I've logged in. I have to paste my password. I have to paste my password, put my password. Then after the password, we have to so after you have copied the password, the next thing for you to do is to come and paste copy the code, copy this code, come back to your terminal and paste. So we have successfully extracted the zip file we have uploaded. So we have to come back to the notepad and make sure to find the runtime about the zip file we have extracted. Copy this. When you copy it, you come to your terminal, yes, then paste, enter key. Then this will show you exactly the zip file that is uploaded on the server, which is basically the runtime of what we have done on the terminal, right? So aside from that, we come to the buffer, and then this will show us this code will show us how the whole extraction has been done on the runtime based on the file, on the zip file we have uploaded to the server. So this code I showed you is already in the PDF, so you can just run it step by step. But the only thing you need to change is when you're trying to log into your server with the IP, right, or the SSH key. So it also shows now that everything is fully extracted successfully. As we can see now, everything is fully extracted successfully. Now, since it has been extracted into the server, then the application is already now in the server. Now it's now time for us to do what? To install everything that we need to install on the server, the API, and to make sure everything is working fine. Now we paste this command line and click enter. Then I have to input the password. So the password I need to input is the password I used as a super admin to log into the server. So I have to input the password and click enter. Now it shows this, right? It takes me back to the server login page. Now what do we do next when we have run this command? Because this command will also help us to create all these folders for the application to run. So we have to check the list, because we created the opt-ins Spider admin, the runtime, and the Spider admin for the application. So let's run it again and see what happens. Then paste, click enter. Now it shows us sudo all the files that we have, and it shows that we don't have any such file as Spider DCA Bot inside the directory, but we have the main file, right? So let's check the list and see if we can get the file into the directory. Now this has shown us all the list of all the files we have in the directory, the APIs, the web version, the PMP, the log, the JSON files, and the script. Everything that the application has now been listed is now listed in the server. We have successfully uploaded it, extracted it, and is now in the server, which is the list of everything that is showing now. So the next thing now, since all these things now is shown, API, web package, infra script, and all this env file is already in the server. So the next thing for us now is to try and get the whole, verify all the package release. So since we have release is passed and we have almost 1,117 files already in the server, which is typically correct. Now this time around, we need to see how we can install the production dependencies for this application to run. So paste this command, click enter file. Then this will install every necessary dependencies and library, npmp, and every package that this application requires to run, because it is in the log file, right? It is in log file. So it will install everything completely from the beginning of the application to the last. Everything that the application requires to run will be installed on the server. So it has been done completely with no error. So as you can see, everything is fully installed. Now we have for us to see everything, and when it shows the page, we have to echo out to see the node version and the npmp version of what has been installed. Now if you take a look, I'll paste this command line for us to see the version of what has been installed for you to confirm, and click enter. So it shows you the version of the node and the version of the PMP version, that is the library that helps the application to run. So the two are very correct, and that is what we expected to get inside this application. So the process, I know this process is taking a long time, but because I'm doing a video on how you can install the application, then that is it. Now we want to check we want to quickly check that if we want to check and install run the Postgres, which is the database, to do the full installation and make everything work. You understand? To run the database first, so the application will work, because the application uses database and the database is Postgres. So we need to run this command. You paste this command, click paste, then click the enter button. Then this will automatically do what? Image the Postgres, because this Postgres is more like a Prisma module, which is inside the node library. So it creates all those it pulls all those library and make them and push them into this into the server, right? So everything that the application needs to run is already pulled successfully. Some are pulled, some are created, right? Some are pulled from the application, some are now created because it's already inside the app, which we have already downloaded. So this is the script you use to implement and impute, to pull all those things and create the database very well, right? So we have created that. Then this error that you see here now, you see this error here, the red arrow that shows below here, that fails to do that. This is because of the Prisma, because we have not generated Prisma, we have not deployed the Prisma, which is the database. We've not deployed it. So this time around, this is the script to check. So we have to copy this command, copy this whole command. Now this will help us to validate the Prisma, which is the database functionality. You click, paste them, and click enter button, and allow it to run. Now since it has loaded, Prisma has been loaded successfully. Now the next step is for us to do what? Is for us to to generate the Prisma file. This Prisma will generate every necessary file that is required for the application to run. Everything, the menus, the database, and everything. Click enter. Then it will start to generate every necessary things that the application requires to run. Because without this, the application will not run. It requires the database to run. Since we have now generated the Prisma, it is now time for us to deploy the Prisma into the server. So the whole thing can now migrate properly. So this is the third command line. You paste it on the terminal. Now this will migrate and fully deploy every necessary database. See, everything that is required for the application to run, the whole thing in the application will be fully deployed. The analytic engine, the risk, the paper, the exchanges, everything has now been fully migrated to the database. That is why you see that error above, right? So everything is now done. All migration has been successfully done. So the next step is to light up the Docker. To make sure the Docker is running, you paste this, then click enter, and it shows you that everything is healthy. Everything here in the Postgres, the app, everything is ready. ClickHouse is ready. Postgres is ready. So all of them are functioning very well. No error anymore again, because assuming any of them is failing, you see the red error there. Now the next thing now is for us to do what? To run this full Prisma status, to check the status of the Prisma, to know whether if there's any error. So you copy this command, come here and paste. Yes, then enter. Then this will show you if there's any error. So every 42 migration that this application needs to run has been fully migrated. There's no error. So all of them are fully deployed correctly with no error. So this is how you can deploy your application, the Spider DCA, to your server. In any place you have your server, even if it's Amazon or Oracle or whatever, or what have you. So this time around, it is now time for us to create a login for the application. Since we have deployed and migrated the database, the Postgres, and everything, it is now time for us to create username. So we copy this command, paste it, then click enter. Then it will ask you for username. So choose a better username. I choose Spider Bot. then click enter. Sorry about that. Spider Bot, small letter Spider Bot. Depends on the username you want to use. Click enter. It will ask you for email. So which email am I going to use now? Which email? Okay, I think I have to use my Gmail because this is just for demonstration purposes on how to install this application. So I think let me use Gmail. Alright, let me type my Gmail here. Yeah, no, let me use this. It's for demonstrative purpose. Then after typing your Gmail, you click enter. Then display name, you can choose to type a display name, Spider Bot. Click enter. Then it will ask you for password. This is the password you use to log into your application. This is typical password you use to log into your application. So make sure you know the type password you are typing and press enter. So as you can see, you have already created a user for that application, a default user for this application, so which is fully created. So note everything you have created. Now for us to check, you need to enter the email and all those things. We've entered, we've done that. Now for us to check if the front end is working very fine, you need to copy the scripts. Copy the script, then copy the command, come to the terminal and paste, then click enter. This will light up and boot up the application to know if the API and the web front end is working. So as you can see, everything is working perfectly fine. The API is up and the web Spider DCA web is up. So we don't have any error messages here on this application. So everything is working perfectly fine. So we have successfully installed and created a user for this application. So this time around, we have to check the logs to see if we can see any error. Copy that command, come here and paste to see if we have any error. So as you can see, this whole thing is successfully installed without any error. So this log shows that the API is running very well. The API of the application is running very well. As you can see, the logs, the API, the back end of the application is running fully well. Then if you take a look below, it requires a license, so you can be able to use it to trade on the live market. So it requires a license, but I'm still going to show you how you can get the license. But the license, you can, when you purchase this application, you can get the license. Now it's for us to run and test the ports to see if all the ports is running. 3,000 is for web, web users. Then I think 3,000 is for front end, while 4,000 is for back end. Now I need to compute my password and click enter to test. So the two are working perfectly fine, right? The two are working perfectly fine. Listening 0. So we need to okay, yes, that's correct, which is listening to this 400 and 3,000 is 3,000 is front end, while 4,000 API, which means I'm correct. Now coming to this part, you can see that you have to run the front end to test if the really front end is listening. If you get, then hey, okay, it's running. So I ran this again, paste again to make sure it's running very well, and click enter, which means the front end, which is 3,000, is running correctly. Then let's run the back end. Sorry about the 40 you see here, this is 4,000. So the IP and the last digit is not 40, it's 4,000. It's my mistake. So I need to type 000. It's 4,000. Then click enter. The reason why you are getting this error is because the backend requires it is the back end that is the full engine of the application. So it cannot log in like that to the backend. If you log in like that to the backend, that means the application is not secured. So it requires you to use a password. You log in as a user so you can be able to access. But the front end is okay. It's from the front end you can now be able to log into the backend, so you can be able to access the backend. So this thing you are getting, there's no error, but this is what you're supposed to get. right? This is actually what you're supposed to be, because you need to allow it needs credential to use. So now the Spider's boot has automatically installed everything. It's now time for us to do what? To reboot the server. So I have to reboot the server to see how it works. Click enter, paste the command line. Now the whole thing has been installed. So this PM2 is for you to run the application automatically. In case if you reboot your server, the application will start automatically. After rebooting your server, maybe you decide to reboot your DigitalOcean server, if maybe it is hanging, or if it is lagging or something like that, or freeze. So that's why it's good to get a higher RAM and higher CPU for this application. A good one though. Then when it's being installed, it can run for a long time. So since the PM2 has been installed successfully, this will help you to run the application automatically. Then we need to run this for us to see if there's any semantic error on the PM2. Paste enter. Now everything is working perfectly fine. So it is fully enabled. The preset is enabled. The service is enabled. Active. It is the activity it is dead. The active part is dead because of what? The reason why it's dead is because we've already started it before. So we want it to start. We want it to be active. So for us to check, for us to verify the firewall and everything, we need to check and see. Paste this command line and click enter button. Then it shows you that everything is allowed. So the SSH, open SSH, the links, the open, the links, all these things is for you to allow your domain, full domain name and everything. So all of them are fully working perfectly fine. So that is that about how you can install the Spider DCA Bot on a server. But we are still not yet done, because we still have few things to do. How to connect your domain, how to allow HTTP and HTTPS, and how to input your license key. So we are still going to do that now. That's why this video is taking long for us to complete it. So with no further ado, since we have seen the whole thing, we need to try to make sure that the active PM2 is not dead. It's supposed to be alive. Reason for this is because we are already running the application, right? So for us to fix that, we need to copy this command, come to the app, paste and click enter. Now you see what is showing me, the error. See the error is showing me now, because the application is already running. That's why you're getting this error. Assuming the application is not running, then you will now know what to do. So we'll have to get the error and to find out what is exactly happening. You paste this command, click enter button. Now as you can see, what is happening now, the active failed, result, protocol, silence, since. So you see what is happening now. So for us to make this active and we'll make it running, let's check the status of the server. Let's check the status of the server, PM2 status. So you see everything. That is why it is running. It is running because the error you saw is because it has already been running. So this error is because of the already running application. Assuming the application is not running, this will not get this error, right? We will not get this error that we have on this application. So let's run this and see if we can restart it and see what happens, and see if it's going to be active. We have to kill it and restart the server again. We've killed it, then we have to want to restart the server again. Now I have to copy the last command and see the status again. I have to kill the server, kill what is happening and restart again. Those paste and see the status. Let's see if it's going to be active. Right, the server is running correctly now. It is running perfectly fine since we've run the script to restarting, rebooting the server and everything. So everything is fully functioning very well. So for us to see if it's fully active again, so for us to check and see that that error we saw that says dead is active, so we have to run this again for us to make sure is fully active, so we'll not start having fear that this may crash or somewhere. Paste this command and click enter. As you can see, the whole thing is working perfectly fine as a default application. So all these errors is nothing. It's nothing, right? All these errors you are seeing here is not because the application is already running perfectly fine. So that is this. So as you can see, those things, those errors you are seeing that is not belonging to any, it's just that it has been killed. It's just a log file, it has been killed. Now let's see if the status is correct. So the PM2 is correct. That's the command line to run is correct. So I have to see if it is active. If it is active, we are good to go. Click enter, boom. That's see that PM2 status active. So everything is working perfectly fine. It's active. So that is that about the PM2. So the next step is to connect a domain name, real domain name. So I already have a domain name called Spider Bot AI, Spider AI Bot, Spider AI Bot. So I need to connect this domain name to the application so we can be able to access the app or access the bot from a domain name. So here is my Hostinja account where I purchased the domain name. So I need to add the command I showed you on the notepad. So I put the IP address. This IP address is from my server. So make sure all these things are added. These things I showed you on this one is added. So this 14400 is default. So in most hosting company is default. So as you can see on this place, I already have one running. So I need to delete one after adding this. So let me confirm this first, then I can delete the other one. Confirm that's been added. So let me go and delete the old one I've been using on this website. So that's the last one that has this number below. So I have to delete it, then confirm. Now we have the real DNS functionalities. So need to add the last one, which is the API. So these are the three things you need to add on your domain. All these things is what you add on your domain provider, where you purchased your domain provider. So I need to change this add to API because I already added at small letter API, and click and make sure it is default. It's either the DTL is default 14400 or it is written default depending on your domain provider. So all these three are fully imputed on the domain provider. So it is now pointing to your server. All these things is now pointing to your server. So it's for now we are going to check. Sorry guys, let me change this to 14400 because that is the default functionality. So I'll click confirm. I have to change that. So I have to click confirm. Right, so everything is now a fully default functions. So you need to check whether this domain is truly pointing to this server. So we have to check if this Spider AI Bot is pointing to the server and the API and other link I'm showing this. So these are the things we need to check. So I have to close this, then then copy this command line to check if it truly is pointing to the server. Paste. If it's pointing to the server, you get notification. Click enter, boom, correct. So everything is now pointing correctly. The AP, everything that I imputed on the Hostinja is now pointing correctly because I checked it on the terminal. Now it's now time for us to configure the nginx. So you have to copy this command line. This will help us to configure the HTTP and HTTPS in order for us to add our domain name. So I have to paste this command line, then click enter button, enter the password. I have to type in my password. Then I've run that. Then I have to copy this command too for the WebSocket because we are using WebSocket in the application. To upgrade the WebSocket too, paste an enter key, that is done, then the next thing to do now is to test the nginx. So you have to check to see if it is truly working. Copy this, test it out and see if it is really working, because we already done that from the beginning. Correct. So the two files are there, which is okay, and the test is successful. So the nginx is working perfectly fine. Sorry guys, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very well, so maybe it's what it is. Now it's now time for us to check, to test. Since everything is okay, now time for us to reload the nginx for us to see how it loads. You have to reload it. Paste, click enter on your keyboard. We have done that, reloading the nginx part. Then it's now time for us to to test and see if the HTTP is working, right? To test if the HTTP, not the HTTPS, just normal HTTP. So copy the command, come here, paste. You have to get an OK functionalities, click enter. So HTTP OK is 200 OK, which is perfectly working fine. So we don't have any error on this part, right? We don't have any error on this part. Then that is exactly what we expect. Then after running this, let's check for the API. If you check for the API, you still get something like that, looks like an error, but it's not an error, because it requires a credential for you to do that, to log into that, for you to access the back end. So when you paste this and click enter, this is exactly what you get. So it's simply like doing pasting the IP with 4000. See, this is now linking to api.spiderbot.com. So this is just what you need to get, because you don't need to you cannot access it directly from the terminal, except if you have the login detail to the application. Now it's now time for us to check the logs, but don't log into the website first. So we need to install the SSL certificate, the real certificate. So you copy this command, come into this application, then click and paste. This will help us install SSL certificate. It will ask you to enter your email address. Then after your email address, you can input. They will ask you if you agree to the terms and condition. You click yes. Y, which is yes, and click enter. So after the email, click enter. Then it will ask you, please read the terms and condition and accept. Click yes. Type Y and press enter. Then the next thing is, you're willing to certificate and blah blah blah, all those stuffs. Type Y and enter. So the whole thing has now been fully registered and fully certified. So this time around you can access the domain, right? So the SSL certificate has been totally installed. So you can access this access Spider AI Bot on your web browser, and it will land you on the Spider Bot landing page. So for that, let us we need to update the HTTPS domains for us to see if everything is working perfectly fine, and the env file. So environmental file. So you have to paste this command, click enter. Now we've backed up the env file. We also accessed that. So the next thing is for us to paste for us to paste this script, for us to to propagate every necessary domain, so that you can be able to access it on the real browser. So paste this command, click enter. We've done this, so everything is working perfectly fine. The HTTPS, right? Because this is the secure propagation. Now for us to check it, we need to copy this and make sure that all variables are encrypted in the env files. The all variables are well encrypted. So paste this and click enter. Now you see everything is now pointing to the real domain. So the web URL is pointing well, the API is pointing well, the next public API is pointing well to the server, which is professional. This is what we need to expect. Now it is now time for us to restart the server, so we can be able to access the landing page or access the application, the Spider DCA. So we need to restart the server, because anytime you do press enter, so anytime you do any changes on the server or any input, make sure you restart the server so it can trigger and get those changes automatically, and the application you can run well if you make any changes. So paste the status for us to see the status of the application. Everything is running perfectly fine, so we don't have any issues. We've done the whole installation, and we're testing the status of the application to know if it is running. So it is online, the status is online. Now this time around, let's access the web and see if we can land on that Spider Bot landing page. So I have to copy the Spider AI Bot, which is the domain we've added, paste it on the browser and click enter. Perfect, our application is running perfectly fine. You see, this is the landing page, this is the front end where you log in to the application. This is the front end where you will log into the application. But as you can see below here, you will see an error showing network error when attempting to fetch resources. This is because of the verification purpose of this for security reasons. So for you to clear that error, for you to clear this network error, you copy this command, because I know you may get this error when installing the application. So you copy this sorry guys, before that let's check and see if everything is active on the server. Just normal checking though. But before we can remove the error, there's this script you need to run, so you can be able to rectify the error. But first let me run this stuff and see if everything is running perfectly fine. So the whole thing, the database is running, the Redis and clickers is running. So for the error part, copy this whole script. For this error part, you need to copy this script and paste. So here is the script on the notepad. You copy the script from here, copy the whole script, then copy, come back to your terminal and paste the script. As you can see, the Postgres and Redis and ClickHouse, all of them is running perfectly fine. So we have already restructured and fixed the error. After fixing error, we also restarted the whole page for us to clear the error. So I think the error has been cleared. If you run this script, the error will be cleared because of the whole functionalities that this bot has. So for you to restart, press Ctrl+Shift+R. This will help clear any cache or anything that's there. So as you can see, the whole verification challenge has appeared very well, so we don't have any issues. So see, you can be able to answer those, input the email, the username we used, and or email, the password you created when creating the user, and answer the security question. But for the authenticator code, if we did not create that, so that will be when you log into your application, you cannot do that. Now it's now time for us to try to log into the server. But first, before you log into the application, you need to clear some cookies and make the application response to whatever you are doing. So first of all, on the server, run this code, copy this command, come to your terminal, paste it. This is before you log in to your application. Click enter. Now this has already backed up, and the auto services of this application is now triggered. Then after running that, you run this command too. Copy this whole command, then come to the terminal, paste the command and click enter. Now this has shown you that we have some two cookies that has been restructured. Now it's now time for us to see, because this is exactly what we need to get. So we got that exactly what it's supposed to get on the whole domain functionalities. Now for us to verify that what you did is correct, we have to copy this command line. This command is in the PDF. You can get it in your PDF. So click on the terminal and paste it. It will show you it is pointing to the real domain name. So everything is now pointing to the real domain name, Spider DCA, Spider AI Bot, which is correct. Now we need to restart. Since we've done these changes, now it's now time for us to restart the server. because any changes you do on the server, restart it and make sure you start everything so it can pick up the changes. Server is restarted completely. Let's check the status of the server to make sure nothing fails. Right, so we paste the application and click enter. Correct, everything is working perfectly fine, nothing fails, so everything is online. The two API web is running perfectly fine. Right, now let's log in and see what happens and see how the application looks like. So Ctrl+Shift+R to restart, and it's correct. So type in the username Spider Bot. I hope you guys remember that the time we created this username, I'll type in my password, then answer the verification challenge questions, which is 7+4, which will give us 11, and click sign in. Boom, so our application has been fully installed and it is working perfectly fine. Everything is working perfectly fine, but there's one thing I need to show you guys. In case if any of this menu refuse to open, or if you get any error on opening of this page, because I know you may encounter or you may not encounter such error, but I'm going to show you how you can solve it. So at the right hand side of this application, you can see the whole application. I already did a little overview of this application. You understand? I did a little overview. I didn't go in depth. I just did a little overview of this application. It's in a different video, like up to 1 hour video or something like that. You can go there, watch the video and see, or I'll also attach this video on this particular video. You can click on it, watch the video and see how the little overview I did about this application. I didn't do full intro, because if I decide to do full access of this application and teach you how it works, man, it's going to take longer, because I'll have to teach you the dashboard, the trading terminal, and all those functionalities it has. All these functionalities. Now let's go to trading panel. See the functionalities of trading panel, which is quite okay with all the buttons. Okay, now let's see the portfolio page. So if you add your exchange, the whole thing will be triggered on the portfolio page. I also talked about this on the overview page. Because there is no exchange added, you won't get any funds. Let the other page. This other page is where you can see your order, trade order, right? 30 days, 40 days, everything. For every functionalities you want on the order, it shows here total trades. Then the trades page is here. You can see the full functionalities, because this is a fresh application being installed, so that's why everything is fully 00000, because there's no activities and there's nothing happening on the application. It's a fresh application. On the position page, it's still 00, because no activities is done, no boot has been created, and so on and so forth. Now basically for this let me show you what happens let me show you what you need to do when you have a failed page. So if you have a failed page, this is how to failed page or failed menu. This is what you need to do. You copy this code, but run it first. Come to your terminal. For example, let me refresh and show you the page. Let me click exchange, because I know what I did. So if you have something like this menu, if you click on menu, you have something like this. Open your terminal and paste that command we copied and click enter. So it shows you permission denied, because you need to grant a permission to it, because we're trying to access the backend. So I have to copy this whole script from beginning to the last. This will help us to make the exchange page work. So come to command line, paste it. This script will also grant you permission, because this is how it's supposed to be. So the whole thing has been backed up and the whole issue, has been resolved. Running this script has been fixed. Now if you run this correctly, you're going to see this what they call it, all these server issues and everything. So since we've run this command on the terminal, what we need to get, hold on guys, let me read what it is. Okay, permission error, permission granted, because the permission has been we are denied from permission because of the application. I need to input my password so I'll be able to log in. I need to input my password. Sorry guys, I need to input my server password, not the application password. So I've successfully logged in. Paste this command, the error, to fix the exchanges page. So since I've logged in and fixed and paste the command, I've run it and everything has been saved. Then I need to restart the server again since I've pasted run the command for all this command I'm running is in the PDF. I'll send it to you so you can be able to use it in your application, right? So I have to paste this to check status of the app. Then refresh the page, then come down to the exchange page. Then you see that exchanges is working perfectly fine now. So the command to fix this any page, or the script to fix any page that you find this page not loading or error, is in the PDF or document file I will share, or that will be inside this app boot file. Understand? So if you download this boot, all the documentation will be inside, how you can use it and access the boot, how it functions and everything. So these are the menus or pages that this boot has. The boot page, the create boot, this is where you can create your boot, the $cost average, which has a lot of functionalities that you will take your time to create. The paper life, all these functionalities, you need to configure them perfectly fine. The time frame, the ladder, the trigger systems and all that stuff. Then we have the boot engine itself. All these are pre-triggered by the back end. All these boot engines, everything is there. The boot mode is off. All these things are off. Most of them are on. Most of them are off because this is a fresh installation. So there are things you need to do. So most of them can be turned or will be turned on, right? So we have the paper trading. We have the back test. All these things are just the pages which I've already done the overview of this application in the next video, or in the previous video I've done. So this video is just for the installation purposes and installation guide. So I'm just going through the application to make sure what the application that we have installed is working perfectly fine before we begin to configure the application, change anything you want to change, input two-factor authenticator and so many other things that is required for us to do or to input, right? So I'm just checking the whole menu for us to make sure that the application is working perfectly fine. The alerts page is loading very well. Alert is loading very well. All the functionalities are working perfectly fine. The incident page, everything is working perfectly fine. Every button, every link is showing well. Then we come to notification page. Everything is working perfectly fine. If you can see at the top, you see preferences at the top. So these preferences will show you how to check how you can get your notifications, right? Filter preferences, bulk or mobile. So all these things you can use them. Activity page shows you the activity you've been doing on your applications. Just this way I list the whole thing for you. In activity logs, it shows you the logs of all the activities. These logs is just more like the time I logged in, the installation, the process that I'm doing in the application, the changes, everything shows you. So analytics about the application shows you the full analytics of the page. It's so many functionalities and triggers. All these things are working perfectly fine. We have the report. So I believe most of you guys wouldn't want to see all these things. All you want to see just the boot, the create boot and start making money online, all those stuff. So but some individuals will prefer this clean and clear information about what is happening on the application or what is happening in the market. So you have to click on profile, see what is happening on the profile, the name, the user, the email you used, this whole thing there about the application and so on and so forth. So the avatar, you can upload an avatar there. The avatar, if you upload an avatar, is going to show on the profile top. All those places you see SA at the left top, right top, the whole avatar or the picture will show up. The security measures, here is where you can add your security two-factor authenticator, because that is the first thing it will prompt you to add before you begin to configure your risk processing speed, your risk functionalities for the which the bot will use or the application will use in order to trade, right? Trade on the live market. We have the season and activities. After the season and activities, which has a lot of function, it comes to settings. This settings has its functionalities where you can be able to access the profile and security at the top. Then below it you can do the settings. This settings is what how you want the application to look like. You can from the settings access some of the other pages. So license page, this is where you can now input your license, which I've showed you before that it requires a license, so you'll be able to use the application. So most of the things in the application are disabled. Even if you get this application or try to steal the application, you can't be able to use it until you get a license to use the application. So we have the alert, the AI page, and so on and so forth. So with no further ado, let's dive in to see. This is the Telegram page where you can use to get notifications or get alerts into your Telegram if you're always on Telegram to access a lot of things, right? To get notification from the application on your server, right? So that's the Telegram functionalities for you, where you can input your ID and every important details. Now let's go back to home. So I think I did just short walkthrough on this application. So this time around, let's deal on the license part. So let's install license. Let's input the license. I've already gotten the license. I already have the license. So it's now time for us to install. So you copy this command to test if the application is okay for the license. Click OK. So this is what we expect. So the license server is correct. This is what we expect. So I've already gotten my license. So it's time for us to input the license on the server and check if everything is working perfectly fine. So we have to copy this script and see what happens on the env file if the license server will work on the env file. So this is required of you to do, but if you don't want to do it, there's no problem. You get your license and paste it. So click enter, so which is correct, right? All these things is correct. It's just for you to check that when you get your license, everything will be working perfectly fine, right? So the public sign-in key is correct, is on, the encryption key is on. So this time around, I have to get the license key, then paste the license key. After pasting the license key, I need to restart the server, right? I need to restart the server. But first of all, oh my god, sorry guys. But first of all, copy this, come to this place, paste it. Then I've already restarted the server. And after restarting the server, I will log into the application, then paste my license key. So as you can see in the logs, it requires license key for the application to work perfectly fine. You see, it's said a valid DCA license key is required. So the notification has been coming in the logs. So let us log into the application so we're able to input our license key. In the license key, it requires your IP address, your domain name, and the key. So if you want to get your license key, make sure you send a notification or message to the developer or to the owner, then your IP, your domain name, so he'll be able to give you the license key. Or if you purchase this application, your license key comes with it. So if you log into the application, come to the license key, scroll down to the bottom, not really to the bottom, to the fourth row where you see the application. So here we have the domain name, you have the IP address, IP of your server, and where you can paste your license key. So let's paste the license key here, copied it, come to the application, then paste. Now the domain name is correct, Spider AI Bot. Then I have to put the IP address of my server. I've pasted it. Then I have to click activate license. Make sure everything is correct and click activate license. Boom, everything has turned green. You see, all those things is now enabled. So live trading, boot execution, exchange, risk page, and advanced trading is now fully enabled. So those errors you see in the logs will now clear, because the license is now activated and is now working perfectly fine. So you can be able to use this to trade live on any exchange. You can be able to add any exchange of your choice, any API key from your exchange, which is Bybit, Binance, BitGet, KuCoin. So since the license has been fully activated, now we have to turn on the trading mode for live trading. So before you do that, you need to turn on your two-factor authenticator. So these are the list of things you need to do. First, your 2MFA code, your connect an exchange, test the connection of your exchange to know if it's working perfectly fine, then do your syncing. Then there comes the connection, enabling live trading. So for you to enable live trading, you need to copy this script. First of all, you need to back up what we are doing. Back up your env file first before anything. Paste the script. Paste the script and click enter button. Now, since it has already been backed up, then next thing is copy this whole script to enable live trading, right? Copy this whole script, then copy, then paste the script, click enter. Then this has been created, right? This has been created. Now for us to verify and see if this is correct, if this has been turned through and if it has been created. Now before that, the reason why I left this as dry run is because we don't want to have any accidental picking trade. So let us verify to see if the live trading settings is correct. We'll be expecting live trading true, production true, and trading live is true. So paste this command and click enter. Exactly what we expected. So default trading mode is dry run. So even if we change it to live, it will still trade live cash, live money. You understand? It will still trade live even if we leave it at dry run. So this is exactly what we expected to have when running this. If you get otherwise, run the script above. Now for us to verify those dangerous, it's not really dangerous though, but other settings that can trigger all those stuffs. You paste this and see the fast engine, the go engine, the market engine, and private execution engine. All of them are turned out false, so which is what we wanted, right? So the live trading is on. Now for us since we've done these changes, it is now time for us to restart the server again. Remember I told you, after doing all those changes in the environmental file, restart the server. Then start the server, allow it to come up. Okay, it's taking much time. Just allow it to come up. It has fully come up, fully installed. It's fully installed. Now refresh, log in again to the application, input your password, then answer the verification challenge question, which is 11, and click sign in. Fully signed in. Now let's check the settings page, and this is where you will be able to add your Google two-factor authenticator, right? On the security page. Yes, scroll down. The email is verified, so you scroll down to the at least left. It will be under this security posture, and that is where you add your two-factor authenticator. Yeah, that is it. So if I click on this start MFA code, it requires me to use SMTP. So I'll just show you a little script you can use to run this SMTP. But if you can use any FileZilla, like for example FileZilla, to access your server, maybe you log in using FileZilla password and so on and so forth and access your server, you can be able to edit your environmental env file. You can be able to edit your env file inside that using FileZilla. Just get the file, make sure you show hidden file on the FileZilla, then edit your env file. You can Google that, or you can also search that on YouTube for you to see how you can access your server using FileZilla or any file or any connective process. So when you click on that two-factor authenticator, it requires your SMTP. You can as well use that format to do your SMTP, but this time around I'm going to show you this is the profile though. This is the profile. You can change your password, the username, and other stuff. These things you see here are just what is on the front end, the page, and other stuff. So this time around, you need to add a production exchange. After adding two-factor authenticator, you can add your exchange, maybe Binance, KuCoin. Click on exchange here, then click on add exchange. You can choose Binance, you can choose live testnet or demo, Bybit, live testnet or demo, OKX, live and demo. KuCoin is only live because there's no demo on KuCoin, right? So the next one is to test the connection and make sure Spider reports it is healthy. So for us to test it, after adding exchange, let me go to the exchange and show you. When you click on exchange and add all the API key, this is how you can test your credential. After testing your credential, you will now click add. It will automatically be added to the platform. So as you can see, you can add your two-factor authenticator, because that is the first thing you need to enable. If you don't use your two-factor authenticator, you cannot add exchange, right? So you can enable future trading, you can enable spot trading by checking those boxes, right? Now close this. The next one is the configuration of the risk list level. This risk level is where you can configure how much you want to use to trade. For example, you have $5,000 in your account and you maybe want to use only $2,000. This is you do that on the risk page. So let's go to risk page, risk and kill switch. Click on risk page, and this is the risk full page, and the environment for live trading is on, which you've already turned on. The live action is on, which you've already turned on using those scripts. So for us to do that, we come to the risk process, the risk policy and kill switch. Now click the risk policy. This is where you can set your risk policy. So you can see the maximum open trade, the maximum open position, cross, balance, and other stuff. Input those details and click save policy with MFA. So when you click this button, it's going to pop up. You're going to have a pop-up where you can input your Google two-factor authenticator and click save. By then you have completed this process. So let's go to the next one. So for us to that is the case which we have showed you. So this is the policy. This is where you do the configuration, right? The policy, configure it and save. Then the kill switch is already on, so you can see that at the right. So the enable live and risk page using the MFA. So that is where I showed you. That's exactly where I showed you. So the risk enable live is already enabled, that is active, right? But the live gate is restricted. So when you when you turn on your Google Authenticator and input it, that is for security purposes, because in case someone accesses mistakenly, maybe try to do any mysterious things and get to your server, the person will definitely require your two-factor authenticator before you can be able to do some changes or run some changes. So the last but not the least, is to turn the live mode, which we have already done, right? Now this time around, we need to restart the server. Since we've done that, so we have already done that on the terminal where we have restarted the whole server. Now after this, I'm going to show you how you can run a command to enable email, right? So for this security stuff, that is where you can turn your two-factor authenticator, right? Start MFA setup. So when you click on it now, it shows email error. So here in the terminal, I'm going to show you how you can what the command you will use to run, right? So for the SMT email, first of all, you run this command. Now in this command, you see where I wrote your company email address. You can input your company email address if you have maybe something email.com. Then the below one is now where you can configure those functionalities for it to come to enter your env file. So these are the script you use for to input all those details in env file: your host name, the port number, the security user, password, and SMTP, whatever what have you. This is just an example of the script you will run. So first of all, you run the first one, but input that place your name, your email address, and paste. Run that first one, then run the second one. But the easiest way, if you don't want to run this like this and you want to input it, type it yourself, you will use FileZilla to log into your server and do the typing yourself. Now, for us to check for the ports and verification of everything, you use this script. So this is the first script, the second, this is the third one you need to use to check. After running the third one, you can now restart your server. So the check you need to check, the script you need to check will help you know if the settings is already imputed in the env file, environment files. So after that, you can now restart your server. Remember, any changes you make on the env file restarts your server. So let's log in again. Password, then the verification challenge, which is 9+6, which will give you 15. Click sign in. Then so this is the whole application. So these pages are all what this application has. So come to security page, then before you can enable two-factor authenticator, you can see two-factor authenticator is off. So if you click this link, when you click on it, it shows you that you need to put configure your SMTP email. So that was what I showed you previously before this one, before I log in to move this one. So these are the scripts you need to run. All the script here, it's already in the PDF file, doc file that comes with this application. So that is that. Create boot page. This is where you can create your boot. After creating your boot, it goes to your boot page where you can click on start. The boot will automatically start running automatically on its own without any glitch, right? So there's the dashboard of the application. There's the sidebar, the light mode, and the dark mode. Go back to dark mode because I love dark mode. So that is that. Click log out to log you out of the application, which is perfectly fine, right? Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the video for more upcoming content. Bye for now.